Good morning, students. Let us again resume with Unit 4, 4.1. Please listen, Part 2, that is poem explanation. Children, has it ever happened in your life that you only wanted to express and share your thoughts, feelings, ideas with somebody, but instead of just listening, they started advising you? Started giving suggestions. This generally happens. In this poem, too, the poet, who is anonymous, that is unknown, is trying to express and tell that he wants his seniors to only listen to him and not to advise him or try to solve his problems. When we read this poem, we understand that the tone of the poem is appealing and reflective. Now let us read first three stanzas of the poem. When I ask you to listen to me and you start giving me advice, you have not done what I asked. When I ask you to listen to me and you begin to tell me why I shouldn't feel that way, you are trampling on my feelings. When I ask you to listen to me and you feel you have to do something to solve my problem, you have failed me. Strange as strange as that may seem. The poet in this poem says that when he asks someone to listen to him and his well wishers start giving him advice, they have not done what he asked. He only wishes that they should just listen and shouldn't tell him why he shouldn't feel that way. They are trampling on his feelings. Trampling means crushing harshly. When the poet asks someone to listen to him and feels that they need to do something to solve his problem, they have failed him, which means they have let him down and did not meet his expectations. Means what he expected from others to only listen and not advise. Let us move on to the next slide and learn what the poet wishes to convey. Listen. All I ask is that you listen. Don't talk or do, just hear me. Advice is cheap. 20 cents will get you both Dear Abbe and Bellygram in the same newspaper. And I can do for myself. I am not helpless. Maybe discouraged and faltering, but not helpless. Here again, the poet tries to draw attention of the reader by using figures of speech, exclamation, and repetition in the line, listen. All I ask is that you listen. He says that all he asks is that the person should listen, not to talk or do anything but just listen. He says that advice is cheap. At 20 cents, he can get advice from the newspaper columnist of a paper like Dear Abbe and Bellegram. Children, this is in reference to the columns in newspapers where people write about their problems and the columnist offers advice. You can ever see from your local newspapers if it has one. Here, poet says he has that ability and capacity to look after himself. He is not helpless. He may be discouraged and faltering. Faltering means hesitating or stumbling, but not helpless. In the line, may be discouraged and faltering, the poet has used figures of speech tautology, as the words discouraged and faltering convey the same meaning. Let us move on to the next stanzas. When you do something for me that I can and need to do for myself, you contribute to my fear and inadequacy. But when you accept as a simple fact that I feel what I feel, no matter how irrational, then I can stop trying to convince you. In these stanzas, the poet says that when someone does something for him that he can do by himself, and if his well wisher helps him when it is not required or not necessary, the person is contributing to the poet's feelings of fear and inferiority, that is, inadequacy. It is the state of being deficient. But if someone accepts a simple fact that the poet feels what he feels, however irrational, it means illogical and senseless it may be, only then can the poet stop trying to convince that person, means he can make someone believe or feel sure when he understands the reason behind them. Let us continue the explanation in part 3 video. Children, in part 3 video, let us learn what the poet wishes to express and how he concludes with the line, and if you want to talk, wait a minute for your turn and I will listen to you. Thank you.